Nintendo just confirmed they're not backing away from DEI, even as more gamers push back on politics creeping into their favorite games and franchises. Yeah, sure, inclusion sounds good on paper. Who's gonna argue with that, right? Then DEI starts influencing how games are written, localized, or even who gets hired. Suddenly, it becomes a cancer that needs to be chemoed. To top it off, gamers are getting tired of this shit. And to be honest, it might not end well for Nintendo. Here's why. Recently, Nintendo posted job listings that requires DEI awareness and culturalization skills. What does this mean? They're hiring people not just to localize text to make games or whatever, it's to reshape how content feels, based on what's politically acceptable to these loud minorities online. This isn't as easy as translating Japanese to English. This is about changing the creative content into a corporate-friendly blandness. When your priority becomes not offending anyone, you usually end up impressing no one. You get what I mean? Let's get specific. Xenoblade Chronicles X or 10 or whatever censored characters' outfits and removed the bust side slider in the Western version. The question is why? Next, Fire Emblem Fates cut entire dialogue scenes because they were deemed too problematic. And there's a lot of other issues about the localization in this game that gamers have noticed. Another one, Tokyo Mirage Sessions gutted, changed outfits, rewritten dialogue, adjusted character ages. And all of these changes not just frustrate the Western fans. Even the Japanese fans who bought this game got upset with all of these sudden changes. And keep in mind, these are Nintendo exclusives. This isn't third-party meddling. This is Nintendo choosing to sanitize their own freaking games. And that's part of the problem because they want to appeal to the broader audience. They're not just avoiding controversy, they're altering the soul of the product to please people who probably weren't going to play it anyway. Here's another one. Who's Nintendo's core fans? The gamers. And us gamers didn't ask for this. In fact, we are all tired of this. People buy Fire Emblem for epic storytelling and tactical gameplay, not to see what passed the DI quota or the HR checklist this quarter. But now it feels like every new localization is walking on eggshells. And when fans start noticing they're getting a filtered version of the game, it breaks trust. And in this industry, trust is everything at this point. Nintendo is actually at risk of becoming a company chasing blue sky or Twitter validation while ignoring the people who actually buy their games. And you can clearly see this downfall happening in another companies or entertainment media as well. One primary example is Ubisoft. Also, here's where it really starts to fall apart. The hypocrisy. Nintendo's public image says, we're inclusive, we're progressive, we're about equality. But behind the scenes, there are reports of sexual harassment, discrimination, and a frat house culture inside Nintendo America. Female contractors getting harassed, inequality in promotions, a system that clearly didn't live up to the DEI playbook they're now pushing publicly. Even Doug Bowser, who said they're double downing on DEI just now, acknowledged this. You know what I'm saying? Again, those are alleged reports. If those are true, then they're hypocrite. If those are not, then they are becoming a victim of their own people, of the DEI people that they are trying to accommodate with. Let's go back to the point. So if DEI is such a priority, why wasn't it already being enforced internally before it became a PR strategy in the first place? And let's not forget, this is business. Nintendo's not a non-profit. They're not an activist group. They're not even a volunteers. They're an entertainment private company that needs to make profit from all of their products. And when your own product starts sounding like a boardroom checklist instead of a creative vision, you risk losing your audience. Gamers didn't stick with Nintendo through the Wii U flop because of DI statements. No. They stuck around because of Zelda, Mario, Smash. Their main IPs that people loved and enjoy. Not all of this DI stuff. And take note, despite selling out their Switch 2, Nintendo is already walking in thin ice because of how successfully they divided their fan base instead of unifying all of them. They are literally just riding the nostalgia and the goodwill of their people or their fan base for more profit. And if Nintendo keeps putting more of these antics instead of focusing on authenticity and what the players want, they might find out just how fast that goodwill can vanish. Ubisoft just did. Ubisoft just did. Look, Nintendo has the right to do what it wants, okay? But fans also have the right to call it out when the games they love get watered down for the sake of looking inclusive. The fans also is getting tired of these DI elements shoved into every fucking game for the past decade or so. This isn't about being against diversity. It's about being for creativity, for originality, and more importantly, for respecting the fans who've been there with them since day one. If Nintendo keeps chasing validation from people who don't even buy their games, they might forget why they started making them in the first place. As I've said in my previous video, the DEI trend is dying, and that is not the hill that Nintendo should die for. That's about it, guys. What do you guys think about Dog Bowser double downing on DEI? I really feel like he's the one leading Nintendo to its doom. At least the America or the international one. Because the Japanese ones is more established than ever. And I feel like after Reggie was gone in the Nintendo America, it's all downhill from there. And with this Dog Bowser, it's clear they're not aware of how DEI can make a company bankrupt in 2025. Someone needs to tell him right now, or else Nintendo is doomed. So yeah, that's about it from me. If you like this video, please push that like button and subscribe while you're at it. See you next time. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye. Peace.